Okay.
It's 11:30 here.
Okay, past. Yeah, now I know.
So the topic was: is it more important to help yourself and your loved ones than to help society and the world?
Yeah.
It is more important to help yourself and your loved one than to help society and the world.
Well, let's see.
Mm, oh,
I
What?
would say the world.
society.
Society. Yeah.
Myself
Yeah.
first. First, I need to help myself and my loved one. That's
No, no, no.
society.
All right.
That's
Okay.
One at a time,
Please
guys.
repeat it.
One at a time.
Please repeat. Uh,
You go first, Aman. You go first.
yeah. Ladies first.
no, 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 I'm not. No, 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 no. I'm your all last. Okay, okay. First,
Okay. All right.
Okay,
All right.
then.
actually,
I'll go first.
because I didn't catch you. Please repeat again. That's 2 days.
Is it more
What's
important to
this?
help yourself or society, Eman? It's more important to help
Okay,
society yourself or society.
okay.
You got it?
Well, yeah, in my
Please
view.
repeat again. You.
Okay.
Okay. Is it more important to help
Sure.
yourself or help society?
Okay, self and society. Yeah, this
Mhm.
targets to, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
society and himself. Yeah, herself and their self. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yours. Yeah, the own self. Oh my God.
All right.
I
Do,
can go, Jen.
do
Yeah.
we?
I can go.
All right. So, Aman,
Mine, I think wants to think about it.
yeah.
Yes, yes. I'm here.
You want to speak
I'm
after
here.
people have spoken already? Later?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Mhm.
Then, if you don't mind, I will ask you to mute your microphone in the meantime.
Okay, 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 okay. Sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Johnny.
Go ahead.
I've held this belief for years. I think it's more important to help society first, and then yourself. I mean, you might have whatever troubles you might have, are trivial. I mean, it's more. I mean, now what you need done, what troubles that you have couldn't can wait. You're supposed to think of other people before yourself. Put the cart before the horse, as they say, because someone's troubles might be more important than yours, and help yourself for others. I think would be a bit selfish. I mean, we're all human beings. We all need help. We all need each other, but we need ourselves, but we need each other first. That would make us, that would be more important, I think.
All right. All right. Any question for Jamie? Mary?
Yes.
Any question for Jamie?
So Jimmy is on team 2, right?
No, no teams, no teams, no teams.
We're just having a discussion right now.
No,
Yes, but your point is helping the society and the world is more important to help yourself and
yes,
your
yes,
loved
yes,
one, right?
yes, yes,
So
yes.
you should be on team 2 if we
No, no, no,
split
no.
people
Mary, Mary,
into
Mary,
different.
Mary. There are no teams. It's a discussion, not a debate.
Yes, I mean if we really split people into different teams, you could be on the second one, right?
No, no.
No,
I've
but
always thought.
that's your opinion. You do not
Yes.
agree with the topic, right?
Right.
No, the topic is it more important to help yourself or help
Yeah,
society than
but you
yourself?
don't agree with it, right?
I no, I think it's more important to help society first.
Right.
Helping
So
yourself.
Yeah,
what
so you
Mary
don't agree.
what Mary's trying to say, if we wouldn't gone to do a debate, you would have been in team B.
Right. Yeah.
Yes,
Right. That's what she's
yeah,
trying
that's
to
what
say.
I.
Yeah.
And I have a question for you.
All right, go ahead.
Do you think it's not helping the society if you try to help yourself and your loved ones? Since I think you and your loved ones are also part of the society. What do you think?
Well, helping yourself first would be a bit selfish, I think. But helping your family, by others, I mean like your family or your friends. You know, looking at yeah, I mean whatever you need, you can save for later. Whatever your family needs is more important. If you look after yourself first, that's selfish. There are other people in the world besides you. So, yeah, that's what I say.
What a nice man.
Thanks.
Yes.
谢谢。And sorry, I mean 谢谢。
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right.
Yeah, I tried. I was raised right.
Any other question, Hiroki?
No.
No,
Thank you.
Moyu.
I think Hiroki knows me too well that he might that he probably knew I was going to say that, right, Hiroki? Right, Hiroki?
What?
I said I think you know me too well that you knew I was going to say that, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't get.
I think you know me too well that you knew I was going to answer that way. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. You will need to answer me or ask me a question.
Right. Moyu, any questions for Jamie?
No.
No.
Jeez, this is easy.
Well, I have a question for you, Jamie.
Of course.
All
right.
What if your life depends on whether you do something for yourself, and what if whatever the others need is not that much important?
Okay.
Still help the other first.
Can you elaborate a little bit?
Suppose you're ill and nobody is with you, and the only way that you can get better is if you yourself go to the pharmacy and buy some medicine for yourself.
Well, that's
right?
Different, and then
exactly.
But I meant,
it's a different kind of situation, and somebody needs you to go instead and pick up their kids from school that is very far away. So you have a choice whether you help yourself first.
That's different, Johnny. And but in most situations, like if someone, like I'm gonna help someone, like learn another language, I can like do something for them. Like I can't fix cars, but I can if anything physical that I can do to help another person, that and other like mental, physical, psychological, that would do first. Yeah.
So you say it depends on the situation?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
If it was something psychological or that if medically I would think myself, but in other terms the other person is more important.
When it comes to what?
Yeah. When it comes to friendship, my friends are more important. Yeah, when it comes to my friends' needs.
Alright.
Yeah.
When it comes to friends' needs. Okay, let's see this. This situation. Suppose let's suppose you are looking for a job. And you find out that you have a chance in one company, and you find out that your friend is also looking for a job, and you find out that the person is also having a chance, the same chance, perhaps the same job position that you have in the same company. What is more important? You take the job for yourself?
I would
you need it, or you give that job to your friend?
I would give that job to my friend and find someone else, something else I could do. Like if let's say they want to be a manager and I want to be a manager, I would say, oh, you're good. You be the manager. I'll look for something else. Yeah.
No, but let's suppose it is a job that you do want, that you do need. It's the only
Then,
chance that you have. Huh?
then I'd be very unhappy.
So what are you going to do? Will you give that job to your friend or you want to have it for yourself?
Oh, Johnny, you. Damn, you made me. Oh, brother. Then, alright, yeah.
So what's more
Okay,
important? Your stability or your friend's stability?
mine, I guess.
Yeah.
But I meant in certain circumstances. In most circumstances. Not job wise.
So you're saying there are some circumstances that perhaps you
Okay,
can
yeah.
put somebody
Yeah.
else
Yeah.
first, and there
Yeah.
are some others that you have to put yourself first, right? So it's
Yeah.
circumstantial.
Yeah,
Right?
but yeah,
It
but
depends, right?
mostly, yeah. My friends come first.
Well, it depends on how many
Easy.
situations you have on one side or the other, right?
Yeah.
All
Like
right.
let's say if I become a member of Dreams and Motions, uh, and like Rick couldn't do a class or you couldn't do a class, I wouldn't mind doing it if I learned how to. If you taught me how to what to do, then I would do it. If you guys couldn't make it,
Mm-hmm.
but I'd have to know the rules. I'd have to know how to conduct a class,
I
which I
understand.
don't.
All right. Thank you, Jamie.
You're welcome. Next grilling, next victim.
Next victim. Mary.
Yes. Am I a victim?
Yeah.
Why should I be a victim?
It's just an expression, right, Mary? I'm not joking.
You are blessed with the next turn, okay?
I do not want to be a victim. I just want to learn.
Well, it is your turn. Do you want to say something about the topic?
Sure, I do
All
want
right.
to. For me, I think it depends on situation or not. I don't know what is more important. It For me, I always think yourself and your loved one are also part of the world and the society, and it depends on different situation, where, who, in what situation, and like the question Johnny asked, if I apply for a job and I do need it, and a friend of mine also needs it, I think I would not to make the decision, and I would let the boss to make the decision, and it depends on who can do the job well. If
Mm-hmm.
I get the job, and so I can maybe help my friend in another way, and of course my friend will get other chance. They might get a better job, so
Mm-hmm.
it's also good. It depends on how much you can communicate to the society, to the world. So first live um, well yourself and do what you can for the society, for the world, for others. Um, uh, of course, it's understandable to prepare or to prepare yourself or to pretend to protect your family members, your loved ones, and and at least you do not to do anything harm to others, to the society, to the world. It's always good for our society. If everyone does things in this way, I guess the world would be more beautiful. The society would be more, um, would be. I can't find a word to describe what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
My English is not as good enough. So, Johnny, it's your job to teach me how to do it.
Shut up. Well, I guess if we ask you some questions, you may find the
Yes,
words, to explain better.
you please. Your job. If
Yeah,
I
go
might.
for it. Go for it, Johnny.
Let's
Yes.
see. So you say that perhaps if let's go back to the example of the job position.
Yes.
Well, of course, the employer is going to make that decision, right? Who's going to get it?
Yes. Sure.
And I guess I'd assume it would choose depending on who is more qualified for the job. I assume.
Yes.
But what if, to make just for the sake of this argument, what if the employer leave the decision to you and your friend?
Leave to me and my friend. I don't think it will happen because the employer will
Yeah,
make the decision. He
I
will,
know. It's very unlikely that actually happen. But let's just,
yeah.
for the sake of the argument, let's just suppose it is like that. Let's suppose your employer say, "Well, it's up to you. You decide. You have the job or your friend."
Probably I will try to talk to my friend to discuss the problem or the question. We can try to see who can do the job better and who will be more likely to get another job if each of us lose the job. Don't you think it might be a good way to maintain our friendly relationship, and it might also be good for the company, right?
Right. Jamie, can you mute your microphone for a second?
Sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in that way, I know Mary. It will probably the best course of actions, just to keep your friendship. But you avoid the entire question. You completely avoid the situation by doing like that. I mean, what if you have to decide that? Okay, what if you can't talk to your friend and you have to make the decision yourself?
Why I can't talk to my friend?
I don't
Because he's
know.
my
Okay,
friend,
Oh
and
my
we both are
gosh.
blind
excuse
to the
me.
job.
You make it more difficult.
Yeah, troublemaker.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Yes.
I have
Okay.
to leave, guys. Sorry about
All right, Aman.
my.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
I will
you.
try.
Thank you for being around. Well, maybe let's change the example. Maybe that would make it
Okay.
easier.
Please.
Okay, I gave an example before. Suppose you are ill
Yes.
and nobody's with you, and you
Yes.
need to go to the pharmacy to get some medicine for yourself. All right,
Mm,
and
yes.
you prepare yourself for going out, and suddenly you get a phone call of your friend telling
Yes.
you that um, they are busy right now. They could if they want, but you are closer to their kids' school if you can pick them up. Uh, because they would like to use that time for something else. They could go if they wanted, if there's nobody available for doing for them, but they're just asking you for a favor. The favor is not much important in that kind of sense. They can do it themselves. But you also decided to go to the pharmacy to get your medicine. If you don't get well, perhaps you're going to get worse. So, what are you going to decide? What is more important, your needs or your friend's needs?
I guess I will tell my friend what situation I am in, and hope he can understand. If he can't, of course, he would not be a real friend, right?
Hmm.
Of course, if I can, probably I can pick up his or her children on the way when I go to the pharmacist to get medicine. If I can't, of course, I have to ask my friend to
Mm-hmm.
understand me, to
All right.
forgive me, right?
All right. All right.
Anyway, thank you. You're better than who?
But the the moment you are receiving the call, the moment they are explaining what they need, you already made a decision. In your mind, you already made a decision whether you're going to help your friend or help yourself. You are just going to speak about it with your friend later. But in your mind, you already made a decision, isn't it?
Uh, I would not say yes, but I do want my friend to understand me.
Mm-hmm.
Any decision I make.
Mm-hmm. But yes, whether he understands or not, let's leave that aside. Let's just focus on your decision. The very second that you decided whether you're gonna go for it or you're gonna help yourself instead. What
It
was that
depends.
decision?
If my friend, what my friend needs is more urgent, probably I might have him or her first.
Uh-huh.
If it doesn't affect my illness, I
Mm-hmm.
guess I would like to help
All right.
my friend first, right? It depends.
All right. So what
As
about?
I said before, you do what you can. You help others what you can, right?
Mm-hmm. So, in the example that I give, you are
Hmm.
ill, you need your medicine, they need their kids
Yes.
from school. What is more important?
Because even the kid stay in the school for a while more, it won't be a problem. As you said,
Mm-hmm.
if I won't get medicine as soon as possible,
Mm-hmm.
I will get worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Right.
of course, um, among, I mean, then between them, the situation I am in is more urgent. Of course,
Right.
I would like to fix this problem first and then try to help my friend.
All right. See, it wasn't that much difficult. Again, it depends on the situation, right?
Yeah, yeah, it
All right.
depends. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for your understandable.
Any questions for Mary, guys? Anybody? And hi, Halil.
Everybody has left.
And hi, Hayat. No, they are here.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello to everybody.
Hello. Do you guys have any
Can you
questions
hear
for
me, guys?
Mary?
No,
Can you hear me?
we're good.
All right.
Jamie?
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay, fine.
So no
Hi,
questions
Kaza.
for Mary. All right.
Move
So
on.
Hi, Khalil.
I don't
I
hear
mean,
any question for Mary.
so we can we can ask any question. I mean,
Any question related to what she said?
okay. Well, I think she already made a very wise choice, so I mean, there's no room for further discussion on this topic.
No room.
All right. So I guess that will be a good job, Mary.
Thank you.
All right. Good job. Okay. Hiroki,
Yes.
tell us what you think.
Mm, I think the maybe like society and world and maybe friends can be included in the loved ones. Sometimes or family members. I think it's kind of case by case, but I think if I can rescue me or rescue my family member, maybe I cannot rescue the world or as a bigger community. Sometimes I can do it, maybe, but usually maybe to help myself, help my family, or help my loved one,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can help society on the world. That's my opinion about it.
Wait, let me see if I get this right. You say if you can't save yourself or your loved one, you can't save the world.
Yes,
Did I
for
get that
example, if
right?
I
Uh huh.
don't die, how can I help
Right.
the society?
Right. All right. Is that it?
Yes. Simple.
All right.
Sorry.
And you made a comment. It's very interesting. You know, friends could be considered loved ones. It's I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when people speak about friendship, some people speak about a very close friendship, like
Right.
you
Maybe
rely on
close.
somebody very much, and you're very close to that person. It's a real friend. You hear the word real friend, and then you hear people who say, well, he's my friend. You just say, well, he's really a really good friend. I don't know. It's just a friend. Uh, they use that word just perhaps instead of acquaintance or somebody that I'm
Exactly.
you know
Yes. Then maybe the word friend itself is sometimes used very widely meaning actually.
Well, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
so sometimes a
Yeah.
friend could be considered a loved one, sometimes it doesn't.
Also, one maybe friends can be a start point of the society.
A starting point.
It's another point of view, but
Right.
yes. So
Actually, yeah,
however,
I have two definitions of friends. I mean, well, you need to be a friend. A friend can be a friend online if you've known each other for a while, but haven't met. They can be like online friends. Maybe become friends in real life. Also, the friends that you actually know in real life. Also, if you've known each other for a long time. I have both. I have both online friends. I have real friends. It's pretty good.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, any question for Hiroki?
Not me.
Not you. Okay.
Okay.
No.
What do you say was more important?
Well,
Is that in?
he point and you can correct me, Hori, if I'm mistaken. He pointed out that sometimes if you can't help yourself, you can't help others. You can't help society. For instance, if you are dead, you're not able to help anybody, right?
Of course not.
Right. So that's his point.
Yeah, that'd be a bit weird. Well, actually, you can
Well,
help.
well, maybe after death he can also, I mean, donate his organs so he can help another person.
Yeah, and also like money, donate money. Yeah, like
Let it go.
leave money for charity to be used after he's gone.
Yeah,
Like Nobel Prize. That's
yeah. Not only money, he can also be famous.
yeah, and leave some pearls of wisdom to his relatives. No, okay,
All right.
like
But is there any question for him so that he can answer? No?
Yeah.
So
I think I know
Hiroki,
him pretty well. I'm sorry.
Hiroki, they say if only if you die you are able to help somebody.
No,
Oh
that's
my
not.
God.
You can help people when he's alive.
So that's why I usually don't answer debate type topic directly. It's not so clear cut and
Yeah.
actually.
Oh
Yes.
gosh.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, Hiroki, you can even have save a lot of lives.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of the opposite, right? You need to die in order to help others.
Yeah.
I forgot this word. I forgot that one. Kind of paradox.
Huh?
Yeah, what you said seems like paradox. But it's
Yeah, paradoxical.
not so extreme, usually. So
Yeah.
in a very special situation only. So in usually ordinary life, maybe case by case, or yes. So
I
What's
guess.
ordinary headache? What do you consider ordinary headache?
sorry.
What would you consider ordinary?
Ordinary is kind of ordinary daily life. I mean, not special thing happening. So or dramatical thing is not happening in
Yeah.
usually
Yeah.
not our daily life.
Mm-hmm. Are you sometimes altruistic?
Oh, what altruistic? Sorry,
Altruistic?
altruistic. I don't know the word.
Altruistic?
Altruistic.
Altruistic is when you put yourself last, when you put
Yeah,
other
like I,
first.
yeah, like I did.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do, and some other time I don't.
It depends on the situation, right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
exactly. Yes, like it.
yeah. But nine
Okay,
times out of
so
10. But mostly, I think,
so
yeah, like sorry, Simpson.
All right.
so altruistic is opposite of selfish. Am I right? Can we?
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's
Correct.
pretty altruistic than self-centered.
Okay.
Right.
Altruistic. Altruistic. Wow.
Um,
This is so conceited.
uh,
Thinking of yourselves.
we also have Murad, but I don't know if he's working and he can speak or not. Is it like yesterday, Murad? Are you working?
Yes, I'm working, man.
Can you speak?
Yes, I'm working.
Okay. So, should I skip you?
Yes, sure. You should skip me.
Okay. Anyway,
Well, Javier,
if you want to participate later, if you get free, just let me know, okay?
Okay,
All
okay.
right. Moyu, what about you?
A well-prepared person.
yeah,
Huh?
nowadays.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah,
well-prepared.
I agree with other friends. I guess sometimes it depends with the situation, but for me, I think we have to love ourselves first. I have to love myself first, and then the loved ones after. You need, and that's I think that's the realistic. If you look at the life now, we just first we gotta work for ourselves, try to educate ourselves, educate our family, provide them, uh, try to look after their healthy, get a house for ourselves and for my kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we did. So I think that should be the primary responsibility for every human being. For example, now I'm a father and a husband, so that's my primary responsibility. I'm not saying I don't care about the family. I do care about the family, but what I mean also I have to first just go and get things done for myself and my family.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for example, if I leave my children and my just people describe me as a responsible father, but who
Right.
cares if I try to help people even don't know if I just help other people, yes, that's fine, but if I just neglect or just ignore my children and my wife and myself, that's I think is stupidity. Other people, what they say, yeah, I do recognize there are circumstances, situations where you have to put other people, you have to just, I mean, you have to prioritize other people. You have to just take more other people. For example, the other day I was watching a video where in the USA a house was on fire and there was a lady, an elderly lady who was trapped in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then a passerby, a student, just saw what's going on and he risked himself. He just jumped into the house,
Mm-hmm.
saved the mother, and also he got some injuries himself. For me, that's so fine, and that's what we need to do. There were instances where we need to look after other people, but I think the argument is that we have to always care other people, and I think that's not realistic, and that's not the way now the world works. In a bigger level, if you just consider, for example, I mean, a boss in a city, a mayor of the city, a governor, like for maybe London governor or New York governor, that guy, his first responsibility is to take care of the people under his care, the people from that city. And if you are a president, then you have to do like that first. And also you have the responsibility to look after, to care to other people if you are responsible. But that's you. I think that should be the first duty or responsibility for yourself. Then you can do and contribute to the larger society. That's what I mean. So that's all I have to say.
You were really prepared.
Yes,
Yeah.
a well
The-
prepared
Yeah.
person, a well prepared
Very good
member
example.
of our two group.
Well, I think over
Guys,
prepared.
guys.
Moyu, we should learn from you.
No,
Well, I think
very,
Moyo is a pretty good speaker. I
very
mean,
embarrassing.
Yeah, he is a good student.
yeah, very articulate. Very
Yeah. Well done, Moyu. Any question for Moyu?
Well, can he summarize his speech?
We'll be here for 10 minutes.
Can you, Moyu?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I care more myself and my loved ones than the larger community. That's my point.
Can I further simplify?
Huh?
Well, you want to say that sometimes it is much better to be selfish. Am I right?
Never.
I guess he said that he has sometimes there are priorities, you know. I guess, and Moyo, you can correct me if I don't get you right.
If you misinterpret him.
Yeah, he said that sometimes there are priorities in his life, and sometimes in order to help other people, you need to be well first. You need to be well settled. You need to take care of your things. Then you're going to be in a position to help other people. But he also said there are other situations where some people put other people's interests in the first place. He mentioned like when people occupies a position in the government. Their first responsibility is for the people. You know, the people are first, and then his own interests. So he put both sides of the issue. But as when it comes to some personal things, he usually has priority, and his priority often goes with him and his loved one first.
Well, actually, I support his idea, because sometimes we have to be selfish, not for ourselves, but actually it is beneficial to rest of society as well.
Yeah, like
Right.
10% of the time.
I guess there will be levels of selfishness. People tend to take the word selfish as completely negative, and it's not always like that. It's not always a bad thing. So it all depends on what you actually mean by being selfish, I guess.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah,
It depends on the situation, okay, and how you're behaving under that situation.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think selfish in my definition, Johnny, is taking all the glory for something, or if you're doing something and someone asks you if they can help you and you refuse them, that's selfish. But just in case, I mean, who knows? They could be a benefit to whatever you're doing. Khalil, you want to say something? I see you blinking. Go ahead, Khalil.
Well, actually, if sometimes we do not behave like a selfish, then we may become burden on the society.
No, we can never. If
sometimes it may happen.
Oh.
Because if you do not care about your career, or if you do not care about health, I mean, if you do not have a little level of selfishness, then maybe you will be part of the problem rather than the part of the solution.
Well, Khazar, I think my definition, if I'm not talking in time, I'm sorry, because in case others want to speak, I'm trying not to be selfish. You'd be a burden on society if you don't contribute to anything. If you just sit back and relax and let others do work that you could do by yourself. You don't contribute any time to whatever. So I better not be selfish and let others speak. So I'm sorry for not providing the time.
Right. Well, I guess in order to respond to Moyu and Hayat, we are mentioning the word selfish, and I think what Moyu was describing is didn't have to do with being selfish, because when I look at the definition of selfish, it says that it is a lacking of consideration for others,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
he clearly said that he does care about other people. It's just that he has other priorities. Once he
Mm-hmm.
solves those things, then he will, take actions to try to help other people because he does
Yeah.
care. He just,
Yeah.
they have priority. So that does not enter, I think, in the concept of being selfish. Because being selfish
Right.
is directly not considering anybody else than yourself only.
Right.
So I don't think that's what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay. So
Thank you
just
so
for
much.
information, well, okay. Is there any word to describe this kind of behavior? Okay, because selfish cannot describe this kind
Right.
of behavior, which was
Right.
just explained by Moyu.
Right.
Is there some other word of English describes this kind of thing?
What kind of thing is that?
I mean, the which we are talking about. I mean, we are saying that selfish is not a proper word because it does not have concerns for other people.
Right.
Because we are adding
arrogant, maybe arrogant.
No, arrogant would not be
Nope.
the word.
No. Okay.
Not arrogant. Yes.
Self-centered.
Yeah.
How about self-help?
Self-love.
I don't think there is a word.
No. Maybe in Urdu, but not.
Well, then we can invent that word.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course.
We can invent the
You
word.
love this word especially for Moyu.
What about
No,
priority?
I mean, in this way we can help the whole community of English-speaking people.
By inventing a new word. Interesting.
Yeah, of course, we describe this kind of characteristic.
I don't think stupidity.
Let's leave that for Johnny and Jamie to come up with a new word.
Yeah,
That
I
may be
propose the word
circumstance.
prioritative. It have to be an adjective, no?
Yeah.
He's a prioritative person. Huh?
Yeah.
He cares about other, but he has priorities.
How about scrupulous?
Well, maybe priorities could be wrong, so
because it's about priorities. He says, well, there are things that are more important. Then once I take care of this, I can take care of the other. But I will take care of the other.
Okay,
so
but
priorities.
a selfish person can say that he always prioritizes himself
and never the other. That's the problem. That's the part that doesn't fit to his description. Once he takes care of his things, then he stops. He doesn't do anything else because he's selfish. He doesn't care about other people's problems, which is not what he said. He said, I will take care of this first, and then I will take care of the other.
Okay. Anyways, that's a brilliant word. I mean, if it fully describes the whole characteristic we just discussed, priorative. Priorative, am I right?
Yeah.
Priorative, okay.
Let's call
Anyways,
Michigan
credit
and
goes to
propose the new
Star.
word. Let's call Oxford. Alright.
Alrighty, let's see. Self-help, the action.
Okay.
Self-help, yeah.
Any other questions for Moyu? Or comments that he can respond?
Nothing I can think of.
I don't.
Well, actually, I do have comment for Moyu because because credit goes to Moyu because of him we are able to invent a new word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
with that guy.
Moyu,
Yeah.
Very good
Yeah,
job. Okay, very good job. Did I represent you correctly?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Take care, Murad.
Hi, Murad.
Okay, so I guess Khalil.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
All
Nope,
right.
you're the last one. You're the last one.
What's your take on this?
Yeah. About the topic.
Yes, about the topic.
Okay. Hold on a second.
Ah, scheiße.
So, I think I would agree with the people who said that there should be a balance, and it depends on the situations. There are times when you prefer helping your loved ones, like your family, your friends, or then you try to help others, like strangers who you don't even know. So
Yeah.
it depends on situations, but I highly agree that we should first of all start with the ones who are close to us because we cannot help others that we don't know if we are not helping the ones who are close to us. Because when we help, like for example, if I help my family, they will help me back. And when they help me back, I can help others who are outside of my family.
Yeah.
So the priority would be going for the family, for the ones who are close to you, than the ones who are outside the whole world. Like Haruki said, I cannot help the world if I don't help like the ones who are close to me. So just like if I try to give an example, for example, if I don't help my father or my mother, like in case of living, buying food and drink and stuff like that, how can we live? If I don't help them, I cannot survive till to the point where I can help others. So helping goes for the family, for the closest one, then it goes for the strangers and outsiders.
Yeah.
All right. So it's not only a matter of, being in a position where you need to be well first, to help others. Also some kind of
Right.
strategic
Yeah.
point, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
You need this in
You
order
need
to accomplish the other,
to
right?
take this personally. Like you should be very fair. Like if something happens like between my family and someone outside of my family, and I need to help one of them, there might be a situation where I will help the ones who need more my help, who is really a danger than my family. So I would probably in this case help a stranger. So sometimes I would try to be fair. Just because you are my family, then I will be helping you first. No. So it
All right.
always depends.
All right.
Yeah. Like for example, sorry, Johnny. Sorry.
All right. Any other questions for Halil apart from mine? Mary?
No,
No questions?
no questions. Thank
Nope.
you.
I like the idea of his idea of pay it forward. Helping
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
right. Uh-huh. Well, I do have a
Yes.
question, Khalil.
That's kind of a foundation
Yeah.
of the society of the world. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Right. I have a question, and because you mentioned sometimes, the importance and depending on the urgency of the situation sometimes,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So what happened with the urgency is the exact same thing. I mean, it's equal. Let's suppose you are a nurse or a doctor, right? And you have two patients. They present
Okay.
the same symptoms. They present the same problem, but you have the medicine for just one. Okay,
Oh my God.
you can say just one life with that medicine, and you see that your patients are someone that you don't know and your sister, for instance. But you
Oh
have
my God.
medicine just to cure one of them. Which one are you going to give the medicine to?
Why you're giving me a hard time with this question? It's a very hard one.
Yeah, the urgency is the same. You need to inject this medicine in order to save that person's life, but you can save only one.
Maybe. Oh yeah. Wait. Okay, I'm not exaggerating, but would probably heal the one who came first to the hospital.
Hello?
Regardless if it is your sister or not?
The job?
No.
Yeah, regardless if it's my sister or anyone. If I am working at the hospital, I will follow the rules of the hospital. Who comes first is the one who will be cured at first. So if a stranger came and I have the cure, I will cure him, even if my sister or someone else didn't come to the hospital first. So I will follow the rules of the hospital, not my own rules.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I mean, okay, let's imagine that they have the same urgency, but the one who came at the hospital first is about to die. Maybe I will help that guy, and maybe the one from my family who is coming to the house, to the hospital, maybe there will be another way. Maybe he would made it somehow. But I care more about the ones who is in front of me and suffering. You get it?
You have both in front of you.
Whoa.
I mean, I know it's a hard choice, but people will blame me later. I mean, I don't want to feel regret because people will blame me later. Why didn't you save the one who came first at the hospital? Even, I mean, you did it on purpose. You were waiting for the other from your family to come to the hospital, you know? So I don't want to get later people like blaming me or complaining. So I will just do what another person in the hospital would do. But if it was a different situation, I try not to be realistic. So if it would be a different situation, not in a hospital, and two of them are in front of me, and the same case, then I think I would probably go for my family, the one who is closer to me, because I know that person from a very, very long time, while I don't know anything about that stranger. So I would go for the family one too. So it also depends.
You know, so will your family. They would say, how come you didn't? She was your sister.
Yeah,
all of your family will judge you forever.
Well,
yeah, I hope that would never happen to me.
Well,
I have a question. May I ask?
One at a time, guys. Mary, you go first.
Thank you. So my question is that if a stranger and one of your family members fall into a river and they both are in danger, and probably your family member knows how to swim, but not that much. She or he is also going to die if you do not save your family member first. And the other one, who is a stranger, is really dangerous. So who you might to save first?
Okay, I get it. So the one who is close to me that I would probably help, well, you said one of my family who knows how to swim a little bit, okay? And the other one that I don't know anything about, he doesn't know how to swim. So that means I have a little hope on the one who is my family member. He knows how to swim a little bit. So he might save himself by himself. But at that time, I would not have time to think a lot. So I would go for that person who doesn't really know how to swim, because at least I have hope for the other. But the ones that I know that he would never be able, there is no high possibility of he would be probably safe. So I will go for that one who doesn't know how to swim, and I will help him. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that I would do. Yeah.
What a nice person. So, if you saved the stranger and then try to save your family member, but you could never find him anymore. So, what you might to say? What you might to do? What you might do?
You mean like the one that I was trying to say he would go away? Like
not go away. Your family member might sink, right? Might die, right? What you might say? What you might say to your other family members? What you might say to yourself?
Then I will. I know this is a hard situation. I will regret a lot. But I know that either way, I would regret again too. Even if I didn't help the stranger and I helped my family member, I would regret for the other stranger, because I would think the same way. I would be like, oh, why didn't I help the stranger? Maybe my family member would save himself anyways. I just wasted my time trying to save him. I could have saved the other one who's already dead. So I would regret either way. then I would be going for the stranger who doesn't know how to swim.
So you mean still, and you would think your choice is the correct one. If it happens again,
The
you
most
would
correct,
do what
the most correct
you did again, right?
Yeah, my choice would be the most corrected one, the correct one. Yeah, I mean both of them are correct, but this one is the most one correct. So yeah.
Well,
Well,
let's.
wait,
Yes.
as for me,
I have
I,
just
I'm
comment.
swearing.
wait,
I'm
hold on.
swearing. These kind of questions, I don't know where you bring them from.
All
What
right.
I was gonna say is
What a
if
nice person.
if the raft was big enough, I would put both of them on the raft and get them to shore. That's the
Well,
the
you cannot
raft.
say both of them. I mean, if things are happening so fast and you will, I mean, there are sometimes situations where you can only do one thing. You cannot do the two things. So,
Right.
I mean, I wish, like, I hope I never be in such
Right,
situations.
right, right.
Yeah, let's
You
hope.
will end up regretting in either way.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
do that, you
Yeah.
will regret.
I wouldn't know how to answer that then. But if the raft
Well,
was,
Yeah.
All right. So,
Well,
Hayat.
can I? Yeah. Okay. I do not have a question. Just comments. Well, it is highly unlikely that you will be in a certain hard position to have such a difficult decision. But I do appreciate Mary to give you a really hard time to decide.
No, it's never good.
We all
Wow,
While
give each other
discussion.
hard time today.
what a killer question.
Okay, while discussion, it occurred to me that like you are standing in a court and Mary is just a lawyer who is just cross questioning you in the court for a certain situation.
I'm sorry.
Well, actually, the way Mary was criticizing you and making scenarios, so it occurred to me that you are standing in the court and she is just like a very experienced lawyer. He's making some scenarios just to trap you.
I'm not sure I understand the situation. If you can explain, please, Stark.
Yeah, he said that the situation between you and Mary, it was like being in a court, and she was the lawyer
okay.
questioning,
Judge
trying to
George,
trap you, so that you would
Yeah,
answer
yeah, I get
something
it.
wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
Um,
Well, you're right. Yeah, it's almost like that.
yeah.
Wow.
You know, in theory, all of your answers, it sounds good, right? But when I hear you, for instance, it makes sense to me, of course. But then I think, well, what if I am really in that situation? Am I gonna be that cold? I mean, would I be that much? I mean, would I be able to put my feelings aside and decide the correct things based on, who came first, who need more help, who needs, who knows, who has a little bit more possibility, Would I be able to do that, or would I go with my feelings? Especially if it comes to deciding something in a nick of time, right? You have to decide something very fast. It's very difficult to put your emotion aside.
Yeah, what I would do, Johnny, I don't know if everybody heard me. If the raft was big enough, let's say my loved one was about 100 pounds and my friend was like 150, and the raft could hold about 300 pounds. I would put both of them on the raft and get them to safety. But that's just me. As for if it couldn't, then I wouldn't know what to do.
Right.
But
I also have another example that would justify what I said before. Like, for example, if I am responsible for a company, okay, and for example, one of my family came for a job offer, and another stranger will come to me for a job offer. So there are many people who would give the job offer to their families once.
Johnny,
not the strangers.
How can I go talk to
what I
something,
would
right?
be doing, what I would be doing is I will test both of them.
We gotta go.
One with much more competency and potential, I will be giving him the job. So I wouldn't just give it to my family, but I would give it to the ones who really deserve it.
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand. I mean, it requires a lot of thinking, a lot of consideration, you know.
Hmm.
Uh, but I still cannot avoid thinking about emotion. Like when you are in a car and you are sitting behind on the back with two other people. One is your fiance and the other is a stranger or just a friend
Hmm.
or somebody else's friend. Someone who is not that much close to you compared to your fiance. And suddenly there's a crash, you know,
Hmm.
and I guess the instincts will play a big role there because you will react without thinking, right? Uh, if you are just like me, when that kind of situation happened, I would try to protect physically the person that I love, right? And of
Yeah.
course, you cannot protect both,
Hmm.
and you don't have time to consider anything. You just react. You don't think, right?
Yeah, you don't.
So when we speak about these kind of situations, which one is more important? I cannot avoid thinking about emotions and instincts and reactions,
Yeah.
natural
Exactly.
reaction. Natural is like a mother naturally tries to protect the children, right? Regardless of the
Hmm.
situation, regardless if she can protect other people also, or who deserves it more, or anything like that. If we just sometimes just react.
Things happen fast.
So
Yeah.
yeah, and it is like there are some things that we naturally think is more important without even having to
Hmm.
think about it, and there are some
Hmm.
situations where we actually manifest this.
Yeah, that's true.
For instance, the example of two people drawing, you know, I guess if it is me, the one who have to save. I guess emotion would play a big role, and I will try to go to the person that I care most. You know,
Hmm.
and then
It's
maybe
like
I
when
will
you go
regret,
for the,
but that is inevitable.
yeah, it's like when you go for the one who you love,
Right.
when you protect him, when you save him, then the stranger, it's like you are helping two people here, not only one person. Because if you help the one that you love, you are helping yourself and you are helping him too. But if you help a stranger, you are only helping one person. You are not helping yourself. What I'm trying to say, for example, if I help my wife, for example, my wife, I'm helping my future too. I'm helping myself because I have a future with her. I'm going to create a family with her. So if she dies, then I will be alone. But if I help a stranger, then my wife dies. I feel like I'm also dead. Like I don't have future now. I mean,
Right.
I'm totally hopeless.
Right.
I help only one person. Yeah, so it's a little bit close to that.
Right, exactly. It's like there are a lot of things that goes on your mind at that moment. Just
Yeah,
1 second, everything crosses through your mind,
yeah,
and say, well, and you decide. You don't have much time. You have to decide, and
yeah. You save your future and you
right,
save your wife, instead of saving only one person that
right,
you don't know.
right. So it sounds to me that there are some situations where suddenly the world, society, disappears. And the
Uh-huh.
only person that matters is the one that you love, right? It
Mm-hmm.
sounds to me, there are some kind of, and of
Yeah.
course
I
there are
mean, normally,
situations where
yeah.
when, like Hiroki was saying before, when you were in a bus going somewhere and suddenly you see someone needing help, a house burning, someone inside, and of course you will just jump and try to save that person, but because you're not trying to choose between two different difficult situations, it's just one, so there is not much of a
Mm-hmm.
choice,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And I think no one should blame you later. I mean, it would just make things worse. You know that
Right.
you are only one person, you have only two hands, 2 feet, so you can only help one person, not four or two. So they
Yeah.
wouldn't blame you later.
But people are judgmental. Whatever you do,
Yeah,
you're always going to get judged.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
doesn't.
And you can state your case, you can decide yourself, but there are always going to be people who will say, no, but, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, but you kill you with budding.
Right. Hello, Jirokarn.
Hello.
Hello. You are late.
Yes, I'm late.
Do you want to participate?
No, I don't know what are you talking about, but I would like to listen only.
Well, there isn't much to listen now. We're almost finished. So let me tell you what
Yeah,
we were. Yeah,
if you participant, then we might have something to listen.
yeah, we already spoke. Um, Let me tell you what we were speaking about. Okay. We are
Yes.
discussing whether it is more important to help yourself and your loved ones than to help society and the world. Which one is more important?
Uh,
What do you think?
and today I would like to listen, okay? I have
Sure.
no time for thinking because, actually I'm not good at English, so it's difficult for make a sentence or uh, you know. I think everyone can understand me.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we do. We
Okay.
do.
Yes. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
no problem, no problem. But you do have a good
But
English.
Johnny,
Yeah, yeah,
Johnny
yeah.
is not about to finish, and we still have something to listen to, right?
Who?
How about yourself? Right?
Right.
Great.
I didn't
Yes,
speak.
please.
Uh, well, I guess I agree with all of you to a certain extent. Um, for me, it sometimes it's a matter of situation. Sometimes it depends, and sometimes it's um, unavoidable. You know, uh,
Hmm.
to actually care for the ones who are close to us because it has to do with feelings. It has to do with emotions, and um, human beings are very much emotional. We can't get rid of emotion sometimes in order to be cold and decide something. So sometimes there will be situations that if you think it through later on, you would say, well, I should have decided something different. But at that moment, it was just a matter of instinct, and I just decided what I decided. You know, because at the moment when something is important, very much important, I guess, like I said before, the world disappears in front of your eyes, and the only thing that matters is the person that you care about. Uh, you know, you don't care about strangers, you don't care about society, you don't care about what people are gonna say, you don't even think about that. You just see the person who you love the most or you love and you care about is in danger and need help, and you feel something strong inside of you because that person is has been with you for a long time. You know that person very well. You don't know anything about the other person, so it's like unavoidable to think that that person matters more. So your feelings will play a big role in that kind of situations. So
Yeah.
it's very difficult to say no, 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 no. I have to be cool. I have to think this better. I have to put my feelings aside and think, what is what should I do in this kind of situation? What are the things that I should consider? I don't think that we all have that time. Sometimes
Hmm.
we cannot always let the other person decide for us. Like when you're saying, Mary, I would speak with my friend about the job offer, and we will decide together who will be better for the job. Sometimes you don't have that opportunity. Sometimes
Hmm.
you do consider that, well, I do need my job, and I need to have a job, and yes, he's my friend and maybe he's more qualified for the job, but this is my only a chance, this is my only opportunity. If I don't take this, uh, you know maybe I will not have another chance. So you know and you consider many other things. You consider your future. What if you don't take it? Uh, you try to minimize the benefit that your friend is gonna get, and comparison with your benefits. I mean, what with your needs. You know, I guess it would depend on the situation, but mostly I think I agree with what Hiroki said very simply. He said that if you're not in a good situation, if you're not in a good position, if you're not well yourself, well, you can help others. For instance, and I also relate to the situation when you have the more you was explaining before, when you have a family, you have a wife and kids. Let's suppose that your wife wants to spend time with you, and or your kids want to spend time with you, but you give your time to somebody else's kids, and you spend time going to all other places and spending time with other kids, with other women, or with other friends, and you're not paying attention to your family because you consider that the society and the world is more important than actually giving your time to your family, to your loved ones. And doing like that, I think most people would consider you a bad person, right? A monster. You get married, you have family, but you don't care about them. You care more about other people than your own family. I can relate to that kind of judging. So I would say that yes, if I have a family, I have a responsibility towards my family. My family will always come first, no matter how the society is, no matter how much help they need. I made a commitment that I will be there for them. I will be there for my wife. I will be there for my kids. So no matter how the society goes, they will have my priority. So I can relate to that kind of situation.
I mean, the thing you mentioned right now, the thing you just mentioned, I don't want you to go so far. So just want to point this out that you should help the ones closer to you. Or be with the ones who are closer to you than the others. For example, in terms of countries, I'll talk to you about my country. My country, Algeria, it's a country that helps other countries, but it doesn't help its own self. For example, they send like money and food and drink to Palestine, to other countries, like poor countries, but they forget that inside the country, their own citizens are suffering, and some of them, they don't have food, they don't have water, they're suffering a lot. So when I go to social media, I see a lot of people of my country criticizing the government. Why do you help people which are not from your country and you forget your own people? Help us first, then help others. Don't go helping others and you forget about your own people. So it goes like this.
Right. Yeah. So it goes back to priorities, right? It's not like because you take care of your own first, you're not going to take care of the others later. It's not like that. It's just priority. Do this first, then you go and do that,
And maybe something will happen to that country. Maybe people will revolt, like a civil war would happen, people are mad at the government, and then the country will be destroyed. So it's like you're destroying your own life when you help others, and when you spend more time with others and you don't spend it with your close ones, your families, your brothers, your sisters.
Revolution.
Well, can I add something?
Yes, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, it seems okay to me that we should have prioritized thing, and we should focus on our family, the loved ones, and maybe in time of crisis, when there is very short duration of time and we have to decide, and naturally we go with our instincts rather than our logical decisions.
Right.
And of course, when we go with our instincts, emotional typically attached to the instincts. But sometimes we have to take care of a cause which is much larger than ourselves or our family or maybe even our society. So we can have a lot of examples of big leaders all around the world, like Nelson Mandela and many other people. They didn't think about themselves or their families or their relatives. They were considering something more. So I think sometimes the call of a cause also plays an important role in prioritizing things, which unfortunately we are not discussing right now. So I think that aspect should also be included in the discussion.
Of course, of course. Yeah, I guess the problem with that is that it's not something that happens every day to each and every individual, right? It's not like you always every day have to choose between the cause and your personal life and your personal or your loved ones. It's like it only happens to big people. Like you have to decide either you help your community because your community depends on you, and or helping the future of the humanity because it depends on you and you only. So it is bigger than you, it is bigger than your family, it is bigger than your loved ones. uh, but the problem is that not everybody is in that same situation. It's very specific.
Well, I slightly would like to differ with this opinion. I personally think everybody in his life always have some kind of opportunity uh, to decide about a bigger picture. Okay,
Give me one
especially,
example.
I mean, this is true. Okay, it is especially true for third world underdeveloped countries. I can give example of my country.
Go ahead.
Okay, during the election, people are given choice to vote a particular person to select or elect that person. Okay, but at that time, people prefer the person who is from their families or who is from their tribe or who have objectives very similar to their personal objectives. So that's why we are always come up with the leadership which is corrupted, okay, and that rule the country. And if everybody, I mean, when he goes and he give vote at that time, if he analyze the situation and if he see the long-term goal rather than thinking about himself, rather thinking about his own community, I mean, if he focus on the larger picture, I guess he would have decided better. And with the passage of time, that country will progress in a positive direction.
Right. I
Johnny,
yeah.
can I have a question for you?
Sure. For me?
Yes.
Okay.
No. Okay. When you said for me, it means I can have a question for you, but I can have a question for someone else, right?
Of course. I mean, Haya was speaking. I thought that you would ask him a question.
I'm lucky that that she didn't pointed his question on me.
Yeah.
My question won't be that won't be that difficult. I'm not critical.
Okay. Yes. Sure. Mary.
Okay. Thank you. Let's suppose if one day your friend, a really close friend, or your family, one of your family members drives a car on the road and hit a person, and of course, because in his car, and there is a person who is really sick. If he couldn't send the person to the hospital quickly, the person will also die, right? But if he doesn't save the person in the road he hit, the person will also die. And because this person, your friend or your family member, is really, probably not really, he was really worried about the person who is in his car because the person is really close to him. So he escaped the situation. He didn't even call the police, and he just takes the person to the hospital. But you noticed it, and the person ended up to die, right? But the friend or your family member is in such a situation. He has really old parents who need him to take care of, and he also has
It's a very long
small
example.
children. Yes, small children who also need a hand to take care of. And I suppose the person who was in the car is his wife, who is really sick, also needs a hand to take care of. So in this situation, what you might do?
Let me see if I understand the situation.
Yes.
The scenario. I am in a car with two other people, right?
Probably you were not in a car, but after it happened, your friend or your family member told you, but you know he is afraid of it. He probably think the police might find him, but at least up to now he
Okay.
is still safe.
I understand
Yes,
that. I understand. I'm asking, where am I? In the beginning of the situation, where am I?
you might be at home, you might be working, you could
Yeah,
be
you are.
anywhere, but you are not on the spot.
Okay.
Then there's nothing that I can do.
But
But you have.
yeah, you want to do anything? You want?
There's nothing that I can do. I'm not in the place. You say
Yeah,
that
yeah, not in the
there is
place.
someone close to me, a friend or something that has a wife that is ill. It is in the car. They are going to a hospital perhaps because they are in an emergency, and while they're going to the hospital, they hit somebody, and
Yes.
now that person also need helps. What
But
I am gonna do?
but the problem is that don't you think your friend was not right? He did do something wrong. At least he should save the person who he hit, right?
So
And
what?
he should be responsible for it, right? You won't do anything for the person who died because of him.
Well,
Even he died, but he
wait a
has his
minute.
family, right?
Wait a minute. So let's
Yes.
see. The my
You might not be able to save the life, but
I
you can.
Mary, I
Yeah.
just trying to picture the scenario. Okay, I try to understand what is going on. My friend
Yeah,
is
okay.
in the car. He has a
Yes.
wife that is also in the
Yeah.
car. The wife has some
Yes.
kind of problem.
Yes.
They are in an emergency. They are going to a hospital, right?
Yes.
On the
Yes.
road, they hit someone. All right.
Yes.
At the moment of the accident, that accident, you are asking me what my friend should do? Or he
I
already
I
took a
do not
decision?
I do not ask what your friend should do. Of course, everyone knows what your friend should do, right?
I don't know. I don't know what
No?
everybody knows or not. What my friend should do. Now, if you ask me if I am that person, if I am my friend, if I am with my wife in my car and I take her to the hospital, she needs urgent attention, and while I'm driving, I hit somebody. If you ask me then, what should I do in that kind of situation? Um, I guess I would put that person also in the car and I would drive them both to the
Yes.
hospital,
Yes. Not
right?
that easy. I'm not that easy. No, that's not the situation you are in. I mean, in China, if a person and hit a person and escape from the situation, he uh, he might be sentenced to
Right,
maybe jail, right? To
right.
the prison, right?
If they
So
know
what you
who it
might
was, yeah.
yes, if you report it to police station, right? Police to the police. So you won't do anything. You just want to protect your friend or your family member.
Right. Well, I don't know about China, but here it would depend. I mean, people are pretty much fast in deciding whether he was seen or not. Um, if you just had an accident, whether you hit somebody or you were hitten or you were hit, sorry, you would look
Yes.
around whether if anybody saw you. Because if you were not seen, then perhaps you can,
Just
get
as
away
if.
with it. Because, nobody saw your car, nobody saw who you were, nobody saw the number or the plate, and so maybe you can
Maybe that's
get
just
away.
you. You say
But
nobody, but you don't know.
yes, but
Who
if you had an
knows?
accident in a place where there were a lot of people, there were a lot of witnesses, then it will be wise that you do something about it. You take the man inside your car and take that man because there were witnesses, and if you don't do anything about it, you are gonna get in troubles. I don't know about in China, but here people are very clever about that.
Do you call that clever?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I think
I say clever because
well, I think
I was involved in an accident where I was hit in my motorcycle, and because nobody was around, the car just ran away. And we were never able to find the car because nobody saw what car it was. I didn't know what car it was, and the brand and the number of the plate, so we never found the car.
okay.
There
So
were no witnesses.
Stark, that's why. So Stark, can I say something?
Sure, go ahead.
So that's why while answering the marriage question in the beginning, you said since I was not there, so I'm not responsible to answer.
No, I just asked where was I in the beginning of the situation, because she mentioned my friend driving his car, taking his wife, and he hit somebody on the road, but I am in my house when that was going on. So it doesn't matter what I think. If I'm not on the place, on the scene, there's nothing that I can do.
Yeah, I know that. I was just kidding. Okay, but
Right.
the marriage question was really tough. But you nearly escaped that question. I mean, you made scenarios. Yeah, I guess so.
You did.
Nearly escaped. It means I didn't escape.
Yeah. You simplified the scenarios just to reply that question. Mary, do you agree with me?
Yes, I agree. I know.
And
I know Johnny is so sly.
Mary tried her best just to involve you in that incident, okay? But you nearly escaped from that accident, okay?
Well, if the situation is that I am at my home, there's nothing that I can do. Nothing.
Well,
right. And of course, I'm not responsible for anything. Of course not.
I do not know about Mary. Mary, are you a lawyer or a fiction writer? Or I do not know your background. Would you like to share?
Would you please repeat what you asked?
Actually, your background, I mean, what do you do?
My background, I guess most people here know my background, except you.
Yeah, I'm new to this forum, unfortunately.
Actually, I'm a blind person, and I don't do that much. I only do something at home, and I'm not well educated.
Okay.
As you can see, my English is not good, right? That's why I joined this group to learn.
Okay.
She just have a very big imagination, okay? She's very creative.
I'm really impressed. Yeah. She made a lot of plots, and those plots are entirely different, okay? I mean, she could be a great writer. I mean, if he started writing fictions, yeah.
Yeah, you have a future as a writer, Mary.
Writer.
All right. But anyway, Haya was speaking before, so I don't know if anybody have any question for Hayat. Or Haya, what do you think about what I just said?
Well, actually, it depends on different scenarios, okay?
Yeah.
Like.
So, can I ask you the same question, the same situation? What you might do?
But first, allow me to say something. You have to explain me and make me sure that I really understand the situation. because I'm not
Yes,
starved that I could follow you the whole situation.
please. What
So
you cannot
please.
say.
The same situation,
So
she says.
You want me to
actually,
repeat what I said before, or you have some
no.
questions about?
Please, rather than making a scenario, you just directly ask me the question, and I would like to reply that question.
The question I asked Johnny, if you are in the situation, and if you were Johnny in that story, what you might do?
Same as Johnny just mentioned. Okay, if I'm not there, I'm not responsible.
The same.
Okay. Right, because you put us in a out of the place, out of the situation.
For me, if I'm in such situation, probably I won't put my friend or my family members um to probably
Well, Mary, I think if somebody is not witness, then I think you should avoid to rely on just comments from other person. Okay, and
but
try to avoid this kind.
how about the person who died and he has his family? Probably he has his elders who need to take care of, and he also has his children, right? His family.
Right.
Yeah, so
But
you can
when
also do something for the family, and even you do not need to report, but at least you can do something, maybe to be a kind of person to give some money to support the family, or you even don't you think
Yeah, Mary,
your
of course.
friend
Yeah.
and your family members, one of your family members is responsible for it? Probably you try to protect him to avoid being punished, right? But at least he can pay some money to support the family, right? Right? It
Actually,
will make you
Mary,
feel better. Why? Right?
Mary, you're right. Okay, I mean, the way you are thinking, I mean, no doubt. Okay, uh, uh, start. I mean, you will be surprised to know that in Pakistan, okay, if similar situation
Yeah.
happens, okay,
Yeah.
and even if a person is witnessing the whole accident or incident, but the people try to avoid to appear in the court, in the witness room, not because they do not want to do that, just because the justice system and the police system and the way they use and treat witness and pressurize, uh, it's really difficult to stand an ordinary person against these kind of criminal activities. It's not so easy. Practically, I'm talking about the practical scenarios. So it depends on the country where you're living.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You man are such selfish people.
Whatever you name it, okay, I told you just the truth. That's really happening every day over here in front of my eyes, okay? I'm telling you from a personal experience.
Personal
Just
experience,
like
yeah.
just like Stark told you.
reality.
Yeah, sometimes you are living in a society where you have to survive, okay? I mean, naturally, what we are doing.
I understand that if you want to help others, first you need to make sure you are not a problem for the society. You are not doing something wrong, and you need to beware yourself to be good yourself. So that's why I said, you help people, you help what you can, you do what you can, of course.
Yeah, of
right?
course. So that's why I told you it depends on the situation. If I were in the United States or another country, I could have done more than that, of course. If I were in China, I might be doing the same thing you want to do. But if I am in some other country, so okay.
I learned, Johnny, I learned it from you because you give me a hard time. That's why I give you back.
That's
because I have not a good sister who I learned it.
I
mean, I mean, if you see, the way we survive, we eat something that these things are actually alive if we eat animals or plants. So it is natural system, okay? But the issue is that you do not need to be perfect. You have to be least, I would say, problematic to live in a society. That least problematic person, that we called a perfect citizen.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. All right.
Everybody is doing something, okay? But who has a little baggage, okay? Who have a little shit to carry? That we called an ideal citizen.
Look at that.
I mean, this is reality.
All right. All right.
So that's why I'm saying that in crisis, it's not the logical thinking, it's the instinct, what you learned previously from your experience, and what is subconsciously embedded in your mind, that actually works, what you decide at that nick of time.
Right. Right. All right. So, okay. Thank you, Hayat. Thank you, Mary, for giving me a hard time.
Thank you.
I guess I had it coming.
Thank you.
All right. So let's see. Jira-kan, are you ready now to speak, or?
Yes. No.
Okay.
I am listening. Yes.
But did you want to speak now, or?
No.
Oh, okay.
I would like to speak. Thank you, teacher,
Are your
and
cats
everyone
those?
here.
Are those your cats?
Uh-huh.
Are those your cats? The one you have in your picture?
Oh, yes, yes. No, that's my cat. Uh-huh.
No,
I have one cat. I have one cat. But, you know, he is not white. Whiteful. Yeah, she is brown. She is brown. And he had 9 back point on his body.
Nice. All right, and it doesn't have two-eyed colors, just one color-eyed.
Blue color. Oh, I'm sorry. White and brown and black in his body. But he has a 9 black point on his body.
Okay, what about the eyes?
The blue eyes. Blue eyes, yes.
What color?
Blue.
Blue.
Blue color. Oh. Yes, blue color.
Amazing.
Huh?
Okay.
Thai cat.
Does she use contact lenses?
For the cat?
I'm just wondering. I mean, that's just a question.
For herself, you mean?
No, for cat. Of course.
I don't think they can.
Why not? I mean, if owner likes that her cat should have that, I mean, there's no problem.
Does it exist?
Why not?
I never saw any.
Because demand, I mean, because of the demand. If there will be demand, then you will see in the market.
Yeah. Well, I haven't seen any.
I'm just kidding, okay? I'm
Sure,
sorry.
sure. No, I haven't seen any contact lenses for cats.
No, he did not use contact.
Well, but it can be a good business idea, I would say.
I don't know if it's gonna be healthy for the cats. It could be a company's suicide.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And quite possible it may work. And
all Okay, guys, I guess we're gonna wrap up now.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you,
Thank
Mary. Thank you,
you. Thank
everybody,
you,
for being
Mali.
around. So see you next time,
Thank
okay?
you.
Remember.
But it will be a long time, right?
Yeah, remember, next week we are not going to do any session. We are not going to have any IELTS or discussion or debate. We are going to take a week off, all of us, to complete some of the tasks that we have, accumulating in our books. We have a lot of things to do, so we are going to take a week off. So next week we are going to be absent. All right. And the week after that, we are going to come back. We will do everything again. Greg is going to be back. Okay.
And thank you, Johnny. We all will miss you.
I'm going to miss you
Yeah,
too.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye, everyone. Have a
Yeah,
good
okay,
weekend.
bye-bye.
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 Yeah, you too.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Have a nice
Good
holidays.
night.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night in China. Okay.